Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J. And with Blueberry, the community that gives creators the power to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get a 30-day free trial by using promo code Blueberry004.
Welcome. Thank you for coming on board with us. And you're from, is it MicroVision?
Correct.
I've heard of them.
Yes. So I'm Jonathan Morarity.
Okay, Jonathan, welcome.
So we're from Redmond, just outside Seattle.
Okay.
And MicroVision's an interesting company. We've actually been around for over 20 years.
Yes, sir.
But we still kind of operate like a startup, pretty agile, doing a lot of innovative things.
You have a lot of innovative, creative products. A lot.
Yeah. So going back, so everything about what we do kind of is distilled down to our IP in MEMS control,
right,
and laser control.
Okay.
And so it's actually kind of interesting that we pioneered some of the first augmented reality. We're a little bit before our time. Back in the early 2000s, we had kind of a Terminator style, single eye, monochrome, AR
now you're
products.
a product engineer, so you're in the beginnings of this design movement, if you will. So you're doing a lot of the creative and technology work.
Yeah, I'm a product director.
Okay.
My current program is actually automotive LiDAR, but I've been at MicroVision for over 6 years. I've kind of worked through all of our product spaces. So I'm actually here to talk to you about one of our IoT products.
Let's check it out.
Sure. So this guy here is our interactive display product. And
is there any way we can put this right here where this X is? Or you got it? Oh, they've got it already.
Got
okay.
It? So what the idea of this is, first of all, we designed all this from the ground up. This is up here our photonics module, and it has custom freeform optics that we created. It has the lasers, and it has our MEMS mirror inside. And then there's a small electronics board on the back here. So our entire module is this size here. And then this is a kind of a product mock-up. So we're working with OEMs right now to bring a product like this to the market. This was our first inspiration for a product. And what you see here is just, you're kind of in the field of view because if you're familiar with laser beam scanning, MicroVision does laser beam scanning, so this is a projector. But it also, simultaneous with the red and green and blue lasers, we have an IR laser. So there's actually an ultra near field LiDAR imaging this space, and you can feel free to interact with it because you're actually at the kind of the best angle there.
Let me just point something out to the audience because you and I can see what's going on, but with the way the cameras are situated and with the resolution and lighting, it might be difficult for them to understand. This is basically, and I mean, jump in where you would like. This is projecting an image onto literally just a white screen, piece of paper, whatever you want to call it, a mat, and it's like a video projector. So right now I'm looking at a clock. When I just went in front of that, this is interactive. They have sensors in there, and now I have a slideshow, shopping or recipes, and it's again projecting on here. So I'm going to touch slideshow, and bam, I think I could see the reflection in my camera, so you can see I'm getting a very nice, very, very colorful image. The resolution is absolutely excellent from my standpoint of view. I do a lot of photography. I'm pretty impressed with this. The thing that's really impressive to me is it is bright in here.
Right.
I mean, I've got 3 studio lights shining on me plus some vapor lights up above, and this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So
yeah. That was one of the important things to us, actually, to get to.
It's impressive.
This has the same amount of backlight, as a traditional tablet or laptop, and that's important because we envision this being inside the home. Again, like this mock-up was done to kind of integrate with one of these home hub products, and that slideshow can be kind of disabled there, so it doesn't auto roll, and you can slide that back and forth to kind of pick a nice image. But so with all the connected home going on right now, this is a great offering for that because as you talk to Hey Google, Alexa, whatever it may be, when you first get that device, it's pretty interesting. It's useful for weather and things like that. But what you really want is kind of that AI experience, that personal assistant.
Okay, is this going to hook up as a sensor to my laptop or desktop, or is this going to be a computer that's going to have an operating system on it, or whatever the case may be.
Great question, right? So as MicroVision, what we do is we sell this module, and so you can integrate it with anything. And in fact, what you're seeing today is we're just running an off-the-shelf, Android application system as a Samsung phone, and we're just piping HDMI through. So there's no processing being done on here aside from this Android app.
So essentially what we're doing right now is we're taking a smartphone, in this case it's an Android operating system, we're literally plugging into the connecting pin there, going into this device, and this is projecting down here. But what's neat about this is it takes all the electronic information and does the pass-through, if you will. So instead of swiping the phone, I'm actually interacting with this, which is pretty close to brilliant in my opinion.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, if you downloaded, since this is an Android device, if you downloaded a game, we have racing game, whatever you want to download.
Okay. My wheels are they're going a mile a minute right now.
Right on.
This has got to be the coolest thing I've seen so far, and this to me, Scott, this is already that award. I didn't have one that I like. This is coming real close to getting our coveted CES award. I really like this. Now, here's my question. This, I'm assuming, is just white piece of whatever as is whatever.
Correct.
So I could have I'm making this up, a piece of white construction paper. You won't want black, but this is going to be white.
Whatever, right?
Yeah. It's anything. So there are some surfaces that you wouldn't have a beautiful display content. So if this was pure black, that's physics, right? That material is absorbing all kinds of spectrum.
So the brighter the better within reason.
But we've tested it on butcher block, we've tested it on granite, marble. It's just a beautiful experience.
So here's the thing, and this is the truth, okay? Gadget Professor gets up early in the morning, and first thing I do is I read my email, and then I read the paper. Not the paper first, but the email. So I have a laptop. I'm sitting here, and I'm on the laptop, and I got my mouse. 3 minutes into the breakfast, whatever it is that I'm eating, my mouse is all sticky, okay? The keyboards have crumbs in it, and it's a mess. And I go through this every day. It drives me crazy. Then once in a while, I'll switch over to the pad, to the iPad. My finger, it's just a mess. I'm seeing this in the morning. I got a bigger screen-ish. Okay, I'm big here. I'm bigger than my phone.
Right.
And right now, if I spill something, so what?
That's right. And so we actually,
I love that.
Yeah, the kitchen experience is a huge application
I love it.
use. So there's a lot of times where myself, my wife, I've seen other people do it. You'll be looking at a recipe, and you might bring your tablet in or your laptop in, and it's sitting there, and you're going back and forth. In this case, the cool thing that we kind of glossed over is that, because it's a projection device, it goes away when you're not using it, right? So when this is integrated into an OEM's product, which we're working with right now to deliver this into the market, they can just simply turn our display module off. So there's no illumination. So when you're not using the device, it gets out of your way. There's no big tablet. There's no bulky thing.
I'm really loving this. Now, to me, another application is learning. So you take my grandkids, and I have a bunch of them, and you know what? You're way too young to remember a show called Winky Dink.
I am.
You are. Most people even watching the show, you don't remember Winky Dink. You do? Okay. So Winky Dink was the first interactive television program in the world. Yeah. So this would come up on your black and white TV. They didn't even have color TV, okay? And it'd come up with a screen of this little game, and you were actually able, through a piece of translucent material, to put it on top of the screen. Okay. These are round CRTs. I'm talking in the early 50s here. And you were able to touch that screen and interact with it. It was like, oh my God, I think that's where the Gadget Professor was born. So this I could see as an interactive coloring tool, an interactive learning tool, and the kids make a mess of everything. Now they're not wrecking my iPad. There's no grease, there's no spills, which I can't tell you how many times that's happened. What an ingenious idea.
Yeah, thanks. And so, by the way, it works on curved surfaces as well. That's one of the advantages of the LiDAR system, is that it's actually monitoring the whole area. So go ahead and manipulate the screen over there. it still works, right? It doesn't have to be a perfectly flat surface.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
In terms of resolution, can you? What am I looking at?
Yeah, so this is an HD display. This was designed for 720p at 60 hertz. What you're actually seeing here is a 70 hertz. That was just a product asked from one of our OEMs. But so it's actually 640 by 1280.
Okay,
So
now if I wanted to increase the size of this, either I'm going to lift the projector up or push this down, or there's some functionality that will spray.
Right. So this could certainly be some sort of a mobile product, although typically we think of it as being customized, during the product design cycle. But the nice thing about laser technologies in general is that they're always in focus, right? So yes, to your point, you can pick this up, and it just gets
This is really
bigger and
cool,
bigger.
folks.
So we probably don't want to go into a lot of detail. There's a subtlety here. This is a 3R product, which is perfectly safe to distribute. We are actually, though, making a Class 1 product.
Right.
And the advantage of the Class 1 product is simply that there's an analogy that, this device is like your typical sedan. It's got your airbags and your passenger side airbags. Perfectly safe, right? But if you're the kind of person that wants a 360-degree, enveloping inside of a pillow of safety, we have a Class 1 product for that. And there's a super important thing about that. It unlocks us to be able to put higher power lasers in here. It always remains Class 1 safe. And now
what he's referring to, because they don't know what Class 1 is, you got to be careful looking directly into lasers and things like that.
Sure, it's like the sun, right? So a Class 3R product is similar to staring into the sun. It's not something you want to do, but it's also not something that you have to shield your infant or anything from. A human naturally knows when they look at a bright light source, they have a blink reflex and they look away. That's the 3R product. It's perfectly safe, but with a Class 1 product, for whatever reason, if you wanted to stare into it indefinitely, you're never going to do any harm. And like I said, you can put higher and higher powered lasers, create bigger and bigger screens that are brighter and brighter.
Now, where do you see this product? I gave you a couple examples of what I'm seeing. I haven't even started processing can you imagine spreadsheets and things?
You could do that.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You can be here with that and have your monitor.
I would like one here in the control room.
We've heard that. We've heard
be able
DJs
to,
for mixers and things like that.
Video editing. Oh
Absolutely.
My God!
The ability for me to essentially travel to a show like this with that instead of computer monitors, be able to put it down and then have it be touch.
Here's your monitor.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I also want, you were talking
huge.
about the refresh. For our viewers, I want them to know that you're seeing scan lines on the video. That's not happening in reality.
Right. It's aliasing through
Yeah, because we've got 60 and 70, and so that's
through processing. It's going from the cameras through the processors. And
the cameras are 60. This is 70, so you're going to get scan lines.
Yeah, believe me, I'm looking at this, and folks, you know how critical I am, of screen quality and things like that. It's very good.
It's ridiculously good. I'm looking at it from a distance, and it's clear from here.
See it? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Now, what about you got to ask, and it's not that it's.
Watch this. This is the kind of.
Because now we have recipes.
Click your recipes. I warn you, you'll kind of just get entranced. Yeah, go ahead and open up again there. Maybe the recipes aren't enabled on this one. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This device isn't. But you were actually in a shopping app there briefly as well.
Right.
So that's a huge use case. It's kind of the things that we as consumers want is slightly different than, it's not slightly different, but there's a reason why this product is super important to OEMs and getting into the workplace, because you can monetize all of these transactions really well, and it actually will help you in your life, right? So say you want to, order a pizza or something like that. There really is a desire from the consumer to just talk to your device. Just say, even though your phone is pretty convenient, wouldn't it be great to just say, hey, I'd like to order a pizza. And of course it can say, okay, where would you like to order a pizza from, right? But then fairly quickly it's going to say, well, what type of pizza would you like? And that's where the human wants some visual cues and some interactive, tangible experience. And that's where this thing could just come awake, illuminate a pizza. You touch all the things that you want.
Now,
and then you purchase.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but boiling this down to the least common denominator, essentially what I have right now is an extension of the phone, an external monitor that's interactive. I mean, really boiling it down.
It could be. All the processing on the product that we're modeling here for you that will be coming to market. That one will have all the electronics and everything built in, right? So our module plus your microphones plus your speakers plus all the things that you expect will all be in there.
So I'm looking like an ultra mini Nook, if you will, or
sure. I think we think of more of like the Facebook portals, the Amazon shows, the.
So I can essentially. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
That's okay. No problem.
I'm very excited about this. I can watch the football game. I can watch whatever I want.
Any video source you can pipe in, and anything that takes touch events, you can write an app to take advantage of it.
A very, very, very exciting product. When can we expect to see this in the market?
Right. So it's a great question.
It's the only question.
Yeah. And then it gets difficult to answer. So I'll answer as best I can. This development kit that you see here is all custom ASIC, all ready to go. It's available now for purchase. We are working with OEMs to bring a product to the market. We are not in full control of that product cycle.
Sure.
So I can just tell you that it's in the works, that we're making sure that this is going to be able to come out at a $199 MSRP or below, because that's what we need at volume.
Really?
The entire thing. So our module is a subset of that, because we're targeting top tier 1 OEMs to bring this product into everybody's home.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that I wouldn't even hesitate to bring to market. This is brilliant.
Great. Yeah.
And you said this is a developer device right now?
This one is, yes.
Okay, and are those available for developers?
They are. You'd have to contact our BD department. Depending on who it is, there may be more or less availability.
Sure.
But yeah, absolutely. So the 3R product is available now.
Mention my name.
The Class 1 will be available first half of this year in development kit. Yeah.
Is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have asked? Because I'm blown away by this.
So just a couple more things about this product is that, again, we're only showing you the touch, and we actually wrote that algorithm as well. That's our neural network that you're seeing, and that's a finger classifier essentially. You can also do gestures, because it's measuring this entire field of view. So there's some really powerful things you can do with that.
This is all mapped out. So.
Right. And then when you start thinking about these kitchen applications and things again, because it's a good use case. Imagine that again you're looking at some recipes, you're displaying that, and maybe you're putting your fish or your meat or whatever actually in the field of view of the device while it's telling you what you should be doing to it, your vegetables. It can actually measure those using the LiDAR and then superimpose on that maybe like here's where you should cut for a 4-ounce portion, things like that. So. The combination of the ultra near field LiDAR.
This is game-changing technology.
Yeah. So I've been told there's a show called Black Mirror that more or less does exactly what well, it's not a real device in that show.
Right.
But that you can check that out. That's basically the technology we're enabling.
It's an extraordinary product, not a fascinating. It's extraordinary. I can see situations where they'll be building furniture. Okay, we're designing homes with this already built in, incorporated into your kitchen where it's coming down or it's coming out of the table or your whatever.
Right, and this is the short throw application. You can do wall projection, you can do ceiling projection. You can point this wherever and get the same.
How wide under the diagonal would that go?
So again, it just comes down to.
Can you throw it up there?
I can. It'll just.
Out of curiosity.
It's just let's not use black.
Right.
Can you get me back into the slideshow there?
I can do that.
Try again there. It's misbehaving, of course. Okay. So it's going to look a little washed out, right?
Well, of course.
So that's where I was talking about our roadmap.
Scott.
and it's only, in the grand scheme of things, with 3 production lights and convention center lights, it's only a little washed out.
Sure. It's
and you're up against gray.
And it's gray, neutral gray.
So This was designed, again, for 400 nits here at this aspect ratio, but we absolutely can do this, and we've seen people use these outdoors at night. They project onto their garage doors, and you can do home media.
Jonathan, I'm triple blown away by this. This was worth the trip to CES alone, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds of products this week alone. Hundreds, probably thousands. This is a killer.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we've got a lot of developers. They're very proud. And
it's that good. Well, you should be very proud of yourself.
Feedback.
And I'm going to keep you on a tad longer because I don't see my next interview. Is the next interview here? No.
Yeah. So I can give a plug for, we also have consumer LiDAR, and we are going into automotive LiDAR as well. So this is just kind of the best product that's near to market delivery. But the same LiDAR technology here that you're seeing in the ultra near field, we're using for, first of all, a consumer product that ranges out to about 10 meters and can be used for occupancy tracking and home security and things like that. And then we actually have a really compelling product that's coming to market. We visited with a bunch of German suppliers and tier 1s, OEMs last year to validate our product concept. And so we're bringing a 200+ meter LiDAR based on our same MEMS scanning technology to the market.
I'll tell you what, we're out of time here, so I would like to invite you to come back soon on my Gadget Professor show. We'll spend a full hour if you have the time on this at your convenience. If you can give Enza your card there, we'll definitely keep in touch.
No problem.
You made my day, and it's
been a
early.
pleasure.
I just started, so very, very, very exciting. And I'll give you back your monitor.
Okay.
And how can, before you go, how can people get more information about this?
So contact bd@microvision.com is your best way.
bd@microvision.com.
We also have some YouTube videos and things you can go to our site.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.